Let's welcome in Bill Ryder. He's a new host on Odyssey's sports station 97.1 The Fan in L.A. He hosts a show with D-Mac. It's called D-Mac and Ryder, weekdays 2 to 6. Bill, thank you so much for joining us, man. Appreciate it.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Here's how I'll start out. What's going on with LeBron in L.A.? You think he's going to stay?
I think it's 50-50. I think it's hard to know because LeBron loves attention so much. He draws these things out, I think, to just be in that beautiful spotlight in which he believes he belongs, and maybe he does. Talking to people around the league, having been an NBA insider for 10 years before this job, the sense is 50% coin flip, he'll be in L.A., 50% coin flip, he'll be somewhere else.
I got to ask you this because up until Reeves and Luka got hurt, the Lakers were the 4th seed, and you might laugh at this. I was telling my partner in the Bay listeners, I think the Lakers got action. So just from a competitive standpoint, do you think LeBron's looking at this Warrior roster, and I know we got Curry, but not much else, and say this is a better situation or an opportunity at a title than where he's at with his son?
It's such a good question, dude. All right, so here's the thing. I'm with you. Like in March, when LeBron agreed to kind of be the third wheel, there was a meeting with J.J. Redick and the trio, and LeBron agreed to take a step back, right, not be the focal point. He didn't be behind Reeves. After that, the Lakers went 15-2. They were a top 5 offense over that stretch. They were a top 7 defense over that stretch. They had the metrics and the record of a championship-level team. I think if LeBron James was willing to come back for a very limited amount of money, mid-level exception, take a discount, I think that there's a world where they're competitive in L.A. The problem is, and Brian Winter has first reported this, everyone believes LeBron will take a discount for anybody but the Lakers. It sounds like he's put out he's not going to get a bunch of money from L.A. L.A. probably can't give him that money because of their commitment they're going to make to Austin Reeves. So I'm not sure if he sees the Warriors as a more competitive team, but they're probably a more realistic competitive option because LeBron has chosen, as we understand it, to demand more money of the Lakers than he would somebody else.
Bill Ryder joining us on 95.7 The Game, host on Odyssey's new sports station, 97.1 The Fan in L.A. Whose decision is this? Is it more the Lakers' decision or more LeBron's decision?
Yeah, it's a great question. So I think LeBron is such a complicated dude. I have to give these nuanced, complicated answers. I apologize for not just directly answering. I think it's twofold. I think that if LeBron James were willing to take a discount or not play games, maybe he is willing to play a discount, I think it would be LeBron's decision. I think the Lakers would bring him back at a certain amount of money where they can give Austin Reeves the contract extension he's going to get. Reeves may not get max money, but he's going to get $35 to $40 million per year. And the Lakers, as I understand it, would like to be able to bring LeBron back at a serious discount and then go out and get maybe another piece. But assuming that LeBron is not willing to do that, right, then it becomes the Lakers' decision. It's the Lakers. Are they willing to give him max money? Are they willing to pay LeBron so much money they can't fill out the roster outside of those 3 guys? And I think the answer is no. And so in terms of will LeBron get paid enough money to guarantee he's here, that's the Lakers' decision. Will LeBron take a discount? Because I think the Lakers would take him at a discount. That's a LeBron decision. And so there's this dance and negotiation and these games that are being played by LeBron and his camp. And I would just offer to you guys, I don't think LeBron understands he doesn't have the leverage that he once did to try and strong-arm an organization into paying this kind of money anymore.
Well, let me ask you this, and that was a great point. What do you make of LeBron at this stage of his career, man? And what he did, and I know he can't soar with the, Eagles every night, but on a good night, he looks like what I call Batman. I mean, what did you make of this past season? Thank you. Especially without Reeves and Luka from LeBron James, because it truly is, and I'm stating the obvious, incredible at this age for what he did without those two, man.
No, it's otherworldly. I mean, just look, in a vacuum, LeBron James is still, I don't know what he is, a top 12 to 17 player in the NBA. And if you just adjust his age, it's astounding. I think the problem if LeBron James is willing to be what Tim Duncan was at the end of Tim Duncan's career. Tim Duncan didn't take all the money that he could have in San Antonio. It was Tony Parker's team toward the end, even though Duncan was the legend of legends on those Spurs teams. Kawhi Leonard was the finals MVP in one of those runs, not either of those two guys. But Duncan was willing to play, trying to do this from memory, 27, 28 minutes a game over the course of the year, be the second or third or fourth guy, but in critical playoff runs, Duncan would step up and be the Tim Duncan of 3 or 4 years earlier, and the Spurs got an extra title because of it. LeBron is so amazing still that if he would do that, if he would, for lack of a better term, load manage himself, if he would, for lack of a better term, ego load manage himself, and he let it be Luka's team, or by the way, Steph Curry and Draymond Green's team, or by Donovan Mitchell and James Harden's team, wherever, and he did limited minutes, and he kept himself right, and then he asserted himself when they needed him in a playoff run, I think LeBron could be a difference maker. I just don't know. I literally don't know if LeBron's willing to do that.
Bill Ryder joining us on 95.7 The Game, host on Odyssey's new sports station, 97.1 The Fan in L.A. Let me ask you this. You're in L.A., but I'm going to ask you a question about the Warriors. What would you tell me if I say, hey, Bill, what do you think of this team for the next year or two? Steph Curry, LeBron James, Draymond Green, Jimmy Butler, Al Horford, and maybe Porzingis. In other words, 4 guys who are like 37 or older. Like what, as a Laker fan looking up to the Warriors, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are anywhere from incredibly dangerous, making a run in the playoffs, despite the fact that I still think that the Spurs and the Thunder are the monsters of the Western Conference, but I think that would be the third best team in the West. 2, what a disaster. Half of these guys spent half of the year in medical timeouts. I mean, you just said it. There's talent there, and there's competitive fire. And I'm a big Steph guy. I think he's a top 5 player of all time. He's one of the nicest superstars I've ever been around, interviewed, covered. I'm sure you guys know that. Your audience knows that. And you've seen with Golden State the ability to bring in egos, to bring in talent, to bring in, for lack of a better term, people who don't always get along in other locker rooms, and it works. So if what you just described to me, if those guys can be healthy, I think they could be exceptional. I'm highly skeptical that all of those guys can stay healthy.
Bill, I got to switch it up because you're in L.A. right now, and when I got this news earlier this week about Myles Garrett coming to the Rams, it has to be Super Bowl or bust. I think the Rams got jobbed on that Thursday night football game against Seattle on the 2-point conversion. Okay, that game, the NFC Championship game, could have been played in L.A. It wasn't, but now that you add this piece to what you already had, I have to feel like Ram fans in L.A. feel like it's Super Bowl or bust, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. People are having legitimate conversations that actually sound rational about an NFL team where you would take the Rams over maybe the field in the NFC, presuming that Stafford can stay healthy. I mean, look, the NFL is obviously different than Major League Baseball in a lot of ways, including the restrictions on building a team. But the addition of Myles Garrett, and now there's talk about maybe Aaron Donald retiring. They're the Dodgers of the NFL, and there's not supposed to be the ability to have a Dodgers of the National Football League. It's pretty astounding, and you're right. People are very, very excited and very optimistic. They believe it's not a question of if the Rams win a Super Bowl. They think it's do the Rams win 1 or 2 over the next couple of years.
Wow. Bill, last one from me. If you had to guess, where's LeBron playing next year?
It's a great question. So I'm not just saying this because I'm on with you guys. We talked about this on the show yesterday. I don't know. LeBron has surprised us at every turn. I've known him and covered him since I moved to Miami to cover him his first year in Miami. So I don't know because but if I guessed yesterday the Warriors, I think it's the best guess. I think his ego will prevent him from being in L.A., and I think he is more likely to be in Golden State than Cleveland, so I'll say he's a Warrior.
Well, actually, real quick, let me ask you about another team. What about the Clippers?
Oh man, dude, they're such a mess. Like there's such a so I think like that has just run it hasn't worked. The Kawhi Leonard thing was supposed to be such a boon for this team, and he's sort of a parable, a warning sign about what the Warriors team could be that you asked me to talk about, right? That it could be this coming year. Kawhi could have been a difference maker, but he couldn't stay healthy, and they're an afterthought here, guys. They're barely an LA team.